y'all coming back. Stopping at the channel and rocking out with us. So we gotta get everything together. Let me see if I can still do it. Okay, got that now. This is the one I'm looking for. Oh man. So we're talking about that young man right there, Shedeur Sanders. And he is the guy that everybody been showing love to in the industry of football. He's made a name for himself playing in Colorado State with his father and just doing a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, excuse me, talking about the impact that he has had being one of the great cornerbacks' son. You know what I'm saying? And obviously it's a good thing that for the kid to be able to carry the legacy of the family and be getting more money. And is it like a beautiful thing for him to be able to succeed like this? But obviously it takes more than just getting in there, because you know you got haters, you got stuff you got to overcome. Coaches, it's just a lot of shit to got to deal with if you're a younger guy with not a whole lot of people controlling your narrative. You know what I'm saying? He got to do what he got to do. But I'm glad for him. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he was able to get in the industry. They played with him. We all watched that, you know, and that's really what a lot of the conversation is, at least from my perspective. So I got to put one of these up. All right, let me see if I can just put one of these up. His name funny. It's probably kind of funny to spell. Should do a Sanders. Quarterback. But they trying to make him not be the quarterback. He ain't really supposed to be the quarterback. So, cause they got actual guys over there. I'm just gonna trying to put one of these up here where you know you guys can vote and everything like that. That's what I'm doing. Should do a standard state of quarterback, and I hope that's a nice little vote right there. Let's put the poll up, and that'll allow us to see what's up. So I'm gonna get to the content in a minute, but I'm just setting everything up real quick. I'll host a Q&A session in 1 second. Got to put all this little stuff in effect as we start the channel, as we start the show. But let me know where y'all from. If you get a second, hit up on the like button. And I'm gonna put this super chat thing in real quick, so you guys can send a super chat if you want to show some love. We got the shop available. I'm just trying to make sure all of the stuff is set up before I go over to the next thing in here. So I'm just trying to do a little something like this that'll allow us to have this stuff set up. So let's get to one of the content pages and see what's going on with Shedeur Sanders. Hit the like button, share the message, and I appreciate y'all coming through and checking us out. Black Outrage 33. Let's let that play out, because we gotta let their little commercials play. You know, that's what we gotta do, commercials all over the place here as well, but not at this very second. So thank y'all for checking out the channel, and let's get to it. I'm gonna get back to what I gotta talk about in a minute. So here's old boy Stephen A. Smith talking his spot. Let's get to it.
What's up, Elvis? It's the summertime. It's the summertime. I don't cut the top of my hair in the summertime. I think it was awesome. Should I take my jacket off? Are we going?
Jamie to the jailhouse, bro. Go ahead.
And added 19 yards on the ground.
No music.
Against second and third stringers, we get all of that because the Browns didn't play their starters. The Carolina Panthers are the Carolina Panthers. They're one of the worst teams in football. And so we're not going to go beside ourselves about what he did against them, because you have to take the opposition into consideration. But as somebody who is a Shedeur Sanders fan, who believed that he got screwed over during draft day, or draft night rather, being a 144th pick, 5th round pick, to see him go out there and make some of those requisite throws and show flashes of the kind of potential that he has, I definitely think it was a good sign. Make no mistake about it. And I definitely think that as a result, he's going to warrant more looks moving forward. all we could say at this particular moment. We really can't say more than that right now.
Prove to me that he's absolutely demanding of more reps with the second and first teams, against the second and first teams. I've been very adamant that Cleveland should start one of these rookies. I really believe that. And what we saw from Shedeur coming off of the reports in the summer, everything out of camp has been Shedeur had another good day. Shedeur's been really good. Shedeur was the best quarterback in camp. And then you get the opportunity to start. And if you just ask, what did he look like? Comfort, in total control. He played really fast. He didn't panic. Okay, so those are all the things that you saw. Then his own words, he had that smirk on his face if I felt like I had the answers to the test. That's what it looked like. And then plays like this, I would actually be most encouraged by. One of the things for Shedeur coming out of the draft is that I was critical of is like, I don't think he's a ridiculous athlete, not a high-end athlete, kind of average.
Man, they always trying to diss the little young dude, trying to act like he didn't have what it took. But to me, it's like a no-brainer. His father is an actual NFL player, and he trained him to grow up like that. So to think that they gonna get there and not be NFL level or not be NFL ready, these dudes just show they don't know what the hell they talking about. Why are they even doing sports? They lames. They don't know what they talking about. Your father or your parent could teach you anything, and when it comes down to having to utilize that skill, you're gonna be at another level with it. If this kid was some Asian kid and he was coming from some tradition from China, they'll be saying how great it is for him to have his family tradition carried over like this into generation. But now all of a sudden it's coming from a black kid. It's like, oh yeah, he's not, we didn't know. He was athletic. We didn't know. What? The whole NFL is filled with black dudes. How all of a sudden this dude is non-athletic and his father used to play in a game? They all want to play dumb when it comes to this guy's level of abilities and his level of what he was able to achieve at a young age. Even they tried to step over him because they knew what he could do. Now, we didn't know because we probably didn't watch his whole trajectory in college. But now you see on his first game and he able to take them dudes down, his competition, which is all inside the game. So he didn't really get a chance to show everything he got, you know what I'm saying, in the first day or whatever. But it's just to show you that he gonna probably be able to handle whatever he needs to do, you know what I'm saying, as the time progressed. And I think that was one of the things that showed his level of success. I don't know if they're gonna play music on this video, so I gotta check the video first and make sure they're not playing a whole bunch of music on it. Because if they are, we're not gonna play that particular video. But you could definitely make a vote over there in the comment section. We got the vote going right now, the super chats, the shopping, everything going on right now here at the channel. You can check us out. Also, I don't want to go too far without hollering at y'all about my new shirt. This is the Hood Film shirt. This is how one look in the flesh when you get it. It's a physical, nice little joint. It's clean. The actual print is really high end. They did a good job on putting it together for us. I'm really proud of the shirt. You know, so if you get one, it's going to be definitely something worth your while. It's going to last too. You're going to be able to wash it over and over and over and keep it. It's a definitely good joint. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. I want to hit y'all with that. So let me see if I don't know if there's music on this yet. Let's see. All right, so far I don't look like music. I'm just gonna let some Shedeur video play. Hopefully we could watch it. Well, I mean, if not, I'll cut the green screen back on.
Always gonna give you 10 seconds. Just know if he's ever up on the ball, like whether it's a sub or we're in TV, let him get all the way out before you choose to snap it. If you don't, I'll shut it down because it's his safety. I don't want him way up here while you. Okay, so we're gonna work slow. You need anything, just holler.
Yeah.
We work together through this thing, dude.
Not for sure.
Right, so we'll go as slow as
Bubba,
we need to.
come on, Bubba.
All right, all the best. Congratulations.
What a football! Hey, what a football! Nobody know the football! It work? Yeah, give us that ball first. Oh, okay. Nick, be loud with the snap. I got you, buddy. I got you. I got you. Let's do it. Let's do it.
first ball. We got.
So you can see him at the court with the mic on him, and he in the mix. He's completely in the mix of playing. You know what I'm saying? Look like he know what he's doing. Look like he up to speed. You know, they actually play a couple of his actual plays. I'm gonna try to see if I can just show one or two real quick. This gonna be. I'm gonna cut the green screen off so you could actually see it because it's moving kind of fast over there. So let's try to see if we can cut it off and then just play it. As long as there's no music playing, you should be able to play it.
Hey, good job. There we go. Here we go. And we felt their best. And we felt their best already. They hit us already with their best. Everything ain't fast, it's slow, it's how we think.
So you can see he over there making plays. He doing what he got to do as a football player, and that's what you got to do. It's his job. So you know what I'm saying. He was ready for the job. You know what I'm saying. They was playing like he wasn't, but I think he is ready for the job. I think he gonna be able to fulfill it. You know what I'm saying. It's probably not the easiest job having to. You know what I'm saying. Coming from college, then you go into the professional realm, and you got to be able to keep up with the guys. You got to be able to keep up with it. So I think he's able to do that. You know what I'm saying. He been in the game for a long time anyway as a college player, so he already know how to play against the grind and get against the everybody coming at him full throttle. So I don't think it's gonna be no problem for Shorty to get to where he got to go. I'm gonna take a quick break and be back in 1 minute, guys. I want you to have to stick around for your homie. Let's do that little quick break and we'll be right back. All right, y'all. We back at it. We back in effect. I appreciate y'all for sticking around, rocking with us. Black Outrage, number 39, Shedeur Sanders. We're trying to see what's going on with everybody. Why they talking so much crap about Shedeur? We know he got the skill. We know he got the talent, but everybody going crazy about the boy. You know what I'm saying? But he did a good job in his game, and that's really effective. You know what I'm saying? Is when you do a good job, you get to show up. And this is our new shirt right here. They did a good job on our shirt. This is called the Hood Film shirt. We got different sizes, different colors. Go shop with us. Show us some love. Hit the super chat. Hit the super thanks. Show some love to the brand. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. All right, we're going to get back to the message and see what's going on. And you guys can vote in there. Do you think he could stay the quarterback for the Browns? Or you think they're going to push him back to his position, which he was the 5th round pick. So it's kind of like not the start. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing, he's the only 5th round pick that they selling more of his jerseys. He's the only 5th round pick in the industry that anybody talking about. So it'd be crazy to put him in the background when everybody in the industry and everybody in the football world is trying to see this guy play and everything. So I don't think they're gonna shush him like that. But you never know. You never know. So let's see, because he could probably take him to the all the way. But let's see what they're saying.
Expecting and looking forward to the second Browns preseason game. I don't know the last time we were excited about a Browns preseason game where there was a big storyline to emerge like this, but that's what this is. He showed he belonged on Friday night, and now we'll get a chance the rest of the preseason, starting this week, to show he belongs again.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, we all know I'm rooting for the brother. That's number one. Let's get that out the way. I'm not trying to throw any shade on the performance that we saw from him. I'm just sitting up there and taking into account what critics may say and asking whether or not there's any level of validity to what they may spew. And so we can knock that down, which you guys just did. The other point that I would bring up, Dio, is, okay, he played fast. He played faster, not frenetically, not panicky, but he played faster, which is something that you wanted to see. And because of what the Browns do schematically under Stefanski, my question would be whether or not that's something that they can continue to do. Because again, if you're anybody going up against Cleveland, particularly with him, you're certainly going to get to him quicker. And you're going to make sure he has to get rid of that ball a lot quicker. So whether or not the Browns can be successful doing that, I think remains to be seen. Last point, guys, I'm going to tell you why. One of the biggest things I'm hoping for right now, if this brother performs, we ain't going to have this conversation today, but if this brother performs, and dare we say he ends up being the starter for the Cleveland Browns, he pulls this off, there's going to be a whole laundry list of teams that have to answer for passing up on him.
Sure.
And on this show right here, I'm going to have a list of them. It's weeks away, but I'm going to have a list.
Content.
I'm letting you know right now.
Giving him content.
Good thing we got that big screen right.
And that's a big point about it. That's the big point about all of the conversation and the hoopla, because a lot of those big old channels, football teams looked over this guy, and we all know he's up to par. We all know he got the skills. And in a lot of ways, it was just racism. It was a lot of ways they were just doing a racial act, because everybody was looking for this guy to get to a squad and become successful. But again, it's passing the baton down to the next generation. And a lot of times when you got white corporations that's ran by white folks, they're not going to do that, where it's going to be going down to black people, because that's basically generational wealth. And that generational wealth is something that you can pass to your kid if you can become so financially free. But they don't allow that to happen for blacks. They make sure the reason go down the pipeline where it stops. So for instance, Bill Cosby, both of his kids passed away. So he don't get a chance to pass that money down to nobody in his lineage. He got to find a cousin, a nephew, or somebody else, because his kids, which got his bloodline, they're not going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? You could say he outlived his kids, or you can even say that the people was probably not going to let him have that kind of life or standard or money. They're not going to do that. And then you can even look at somebody like P. Diddy, super rich, super millionaire. But now, can he pass his money or his legacy down to his kids? Can they run Bad Boy Records? No. So when it comes down to the people who give you the money, they're going to make sure that before you get out of here, you can't pass that down to your kids and no lineage. And I'm still trying to figure out who is the guy that was able to pass that down. Because even when it comes to Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, you name it, there was something that blocked them. Whether they was even some of those people like the Oprah Winfrey perhaps, that might be like, I don't have no kids, I'm not having no children. You know what I'm saying? So then you can't never pass it down. But in the other cultures, if you got certain jobs like firemen, if you got certain things like even in you in some corporate or operation, even Trump, his family was able to pass stuff down to him, whether it was through money, through heritage, and he able to utilize it and flip it, and you know, this is how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But now you see where it comes down to the NFL. Now the father put all that work into that time of working with them, all of that work, and they still to diss his kid and won't let him get the job in the NFL. For what? He gonna do the same thing. He know what it's like. This is daddy. Why would he not know what it's like to work in there? But it's their decision. So they said no. And by the time somebody did say yeah, it was 5 rounds, and that's a long time for in an NFL idea for something to happen that long in order for somebody to get picked up. So I'm gonna go to this other guy conversation. Let me know what y'all think too. We got votes coming in on Shedeur Sanders, if he should be continue being the quarterback. And right now the votes is looking at 100%. Damn, this is the first time ever. I'm not gonna even lie. The first time it's ever been 100% on a vote for Shedeur, for anything. It's like no, not one no so far. That's crazy. But it just shows that the guy been grinding, you know what I'm saying, and doing a lot of work. I don't know what's up with Ola. Hello, Ola. This guy went crazy in the comment section. We're going to have to let him simmer down a little something. His brain kind of wired. But look, hit the like button, share the message, cop a shirt if you want to show love to the brand. Support Hood Films, and more Hood Films. I appreciate y'all's support. And let's get back to it. This guy right here we're going to listen to, his name is Marcellus Wallace. Now, he used to be actually an NFL player. Then he moved on to be an NFL analyst, and now he just got his YouTube channel. So let's get some conversation from him real quick. Hit the like button, share the message, get the vote, and let's go. Super chat, super thanks.
Murphy, takeaway.
Get it, Pook. What up, Pook? His body language. It looked like he didn't even want Shedeur to even be involved, right? A lot of people were taking notice of that. And then his press conference after the game, so then they asked Shedeur about it. Shedeur basically says this: I honestly don't know, and I don't really care, you know. Whenever it's my turn, I've just got to take advantage of it. I feel like today I did some good, some bad, and I know moving forward, I won't make the same mistakes twice. In terms of him getting more reps or starting more games, will he get a chance to start? Shedeur's playing it neutral, like, hey, he doesn't mean this, but I don't care. He means I can't influence them, so therefore I just got to take what they give me, right? I get it, totally. Now, let's get into this for real. This is going to be a deeper dive. Become a gym member with Project Transition. As a giver every month, small.
Shut up.
But the first thing is you got to know about once you get to this level, pro level, NFL stands for what? Not for long. Think about it. Not only just the players, coaches, not for long. So coaching, last thing he about to do is start coaching based on the hype. And I think a lot of people want him to be coaching based on that hype. We know Shedeur is starting. We know Shedeur is getting all this attention. Coach knows this as well. But I'm not getting caught in that hype, so I'm not going to coach in that hype. So a football coach thinks like you're supposed to think when you get in the weight room. How do you get bigger and stronger? You actually tear down your muscles. You actually break down your muscles. And then they repair themselves stronger. That's how it goes. You tear muscle fibers, and then you recover, and the next thing you know, you get bigger and stronger. Same thing with a football team. You actually break down players. You break them down through analysis, and you break them down in terms of their mentality. You break them down and to get to see how tough they are. You just tear them down and see how they build themselves up stronger. That's why we got to go through training camp. Nobody want to go through training camp, not a single soul. But we got to get broke down to build ourselves up stronger. So I understand what he was doing.
I don't know if that's a good enough excuse for me. Whereas you got to look at it from the money perspective. I see what he's saying from the coach perspective. We can't just coach on the height. We got to coach on the skill. We got to coach on the level of the aptitude of the player. Blah blah blah. Gotcha. However, the jersey is selling. The jersey is not selling on if you win the Super Bowl. The jersey is selling because you picked this guy to be on your team. And that means he fifth round pick, and he's outselling the number 1 round pick. He's outselling the number 2 round pick, the number 3 round pick, whoever they are, whatever team they on. He's outselling, and he's a 5th round pick. So that's letting you know you have to put some kind of attention towards this player because it's ultimately a money run. You're doing the NFL for money. And to think that you're going to put money on a back burner and just be like, well, we ain't going to focus on the money aspect because technically we just really focusing on how everybody interact. Are we going to be able to coach these guys? Nobody. That's not how it works. They trying to make money. They got to fill them seats. And if you don't have the right players on the actual ground, on the field, the people ain't going to show up. They're going to be like, man, they don't play my guy. They're not playing my guy this time, so I'm going to stop going. I ain't going. Wait till they play them. And then finally, when they start playing them, that's when everything swell up and beat up and get going. So they're going to play into the hype. They're going to play into the idea of having to put that guy in the game so that the people want to show up and they can make money. And it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But to not put him in the game and wait and try to build this new kind of hype up from the idea of him sitting on the sideline, you're going to run people away. And they're going to be like, man, I can't see my guy play. It's like going to a nightclub. Imagine going to a club and it's a song that's out that you love, and you go to the club and they never playing your song. Like you played all 10 songs now. You've been in the club, you paid the money, you done drank a few times, but you're like, they still not playing. I still don't know. Do you go up to the DJ and ask him? You know, are you that bold? Or are you just gonna be like, I'm not coming back to this club. They don't even play the songs I like. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever the song was. So like you never even play it all night long, and you can hear it on the radio. You go to the club, they're not playing it. And so somebody say, man, they played that all the time when you go over to this other club. Oh, that's where they playing it at. So that might be where you try to go. It'd be like, you know what? I can hear my song over there. So it's the same thing. The hype will be diminished if they keep the guy on the sideline waiting for him to get tore down and broken back up and shit. That don't mean that that's not gonna happen. I just think that that's a dumb. And that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not football dude. I don't know all of the shit like they know it. But I just believe that if it's time to get him and get some money, then that's what the hell you should be doing. Because again, it's about money. They trying to build. They're not trying to necessarily build up hype. They're trying to build up money. He got the name. His father already there. You know what I'm saying? So hit them like button, guys. Do a little voting over there. We got votes coming in, but right now it's been one
Here's
dimensional.
something most drivers don't know.
One directional the whole time. So that's what we're just trying to see what else was the votes going to do today. And I'm getting ready with another clip. We'll be able to check it out one second. Tyrell said others feel disrespecting their takes. Other feel. Well, I can't see. Oh, okay. I missed a little bit. Some DJs don't mind you asking for a request. Others feel you disrespecting their taste. Yeah, so it's like Tyrell Deion Sanders must be the money. Right, play my father's song. There you go. Hey, I need to get hyped in here. Play my old man's song in here from the 80s or the 90s and shit, you know. But, you know, I think that, you know, what they saw the father do, being a super athlete and being at the top level and then being able to do different sports, being able to do hip hop. It's a lot of guys that's one-dimensional. They're not going to be able to do all of these other elements and shit. That's what the father was doing. I remember him being on the field with at the time, you had him, he was down with, what's the dude's name? MC Hammer. You would be seeing MC Hammer on the field with him as a kid and shit as they playing it. And I remember them outlawing, because of MC Hammer and Deion Sanders, the NFL came down with a statement saying that no more non-players could be on the field, and they stuck to that rule to this day. But at that time, you know, people would be on the side. If you knew somebody, they would let them stand on the side if they was friends or whatever. But after Deion Sanders was always bringing MC Hammer. MC Hammer was like the major artist. Yeah, you can't touch this. He wearing leather jackets, fur coats, and shit at the time. And they was like, hey, we ain't liking this. So they stopped them from having friends on the side of the field, and that came from Deion Sanders bringing Mike Tyson. I'm sorry, I keep thinking his damn name because it's been so many years. But MC Hammer to the games and letting them stay on the side of the field with the rest of the team. So they outlawed that in they squads. So it's just crazy how that happened. But I just remembered it, and now you look in the future and see his son going into the NFL, and they doing the same whole, hey, all right, okay, if you're gonna come over here, it's rules. These are the rules. This is what we're going to do. If you want to be here, you have to abide by these rules. And any job is going to do you like that. It's no job going to come in there and tell you can just do anything you want to do. So he just got to follow the rules in order to stay inside. You got to deal with the racism, the bull crap, the negativity. If they faking what you fronting on you, it's just like you got to deal with that at a job. That's true, Tyrell. He is a good dude, but I like him. He's done a lot. He's been an athlete, but now it's time for his kids to get the next baton. And that's really the whole conversation. Now when you try to pass it down to your kid, do they come up with some scandal? Do they come up with something that now the kid be on drugs? Or what's the issue? These kids seem stable. Mentally they stable, had a strong family bond. You know, they weren't living in poverty. So now that they chance to get up in the NFL, and it's like they want to give them a lesson in life. Like, yeah, you had it too good. Let me shock you and give you a fucked up evening, a bad memory or something like that. And it's like that sometimes. So you got to teach your kids how to have a strong constitution so that even if they do go through those things, you know that there's a bull crap or weak people that's trying to put those forces to play. It's not that it's necessarily you did something wrong, but you know, these things happen to a lot of us, and that's just how it is. But you can still overcome it by first understanding why it's happening and then not letting it stop you. So you can teach your kids these things because you might have went through it yourself, and that's sometimes what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So you said that's out your hometown. No, I'm not. I know. And what's the name? Oh, you talking about the shuffle? Yeah, for sure. That was bad. But you got to think I was a massive kid at that time. So I'm talking about 11 years old. You know what I mean? When that year of that football song coming out, they won in Chicago, and my father was a person who sold stuff on the streets. That's what he was a hustler. So that night when they won, you know, it was like watching it on TV. Then my father's like, all right, we finna go downtown. We all like, what? What the hell? It's fucking freezing outside. January, what the fuck? But you know, the city was. I didn't, as a kid, you didn't know they were gonna be celebrating like that. And then everybody, me and my brothers and my father, we went downtown, and it was crowded, obviously. So you know, I was a kid. My father was like, "All right, now we finna sell gloves and umbrellas and shit." You know, so we outside like, you know, 'cause we so small, but it was like the whole crowd was crazy, jumping around. So it started snowing, and my old man like, "Look, we gonna sell it." So now we off to the side selling hats and umbrellas and shit, cause that's what my old man did in the wintertime. And we was jugging like that, and that was just I just never forgot the fact that after the Bears won that summer, we didn't chill and shit and eat some more chicken. We jumped in the car and went downtown to go sell. But at the time, I didn't know that it was gonna be a crowd like that. You like 11, you just like, damn, why the fuck we going downtown? Like, ain't like you could say nothing about it. But then you get down there and it's like fucking people everywhere. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't even think we had drove. I think we caught the bus. I'm almost gonna think that we caught the bus down there at that time. But I see the votes coming in. Y'all still voting good, and I do appreciate that. Thanks for listening to my story too. Sometimes that's my therapy a little bit to talk to y'all like that. But the votes is, and it's 88% now, so it just a tinge off of that 100 because it was 100% deep saying that he should stay. You know what I'm saying? You say 11 years old. Tyrell said 11 years old was a good time to be a kid though, even in the hood. Yeah, well yeah, you could say that, but you innocent. You don't know. I remember, you know, like we was innocent thinking in our kid, but you believe you was tough. You believe that you wouldn't let nothing happen to you, or you wouldn't let nobody do nothing to you. But I remember as a kid hearing on the radio or the news that it was people that was our age that was getting killed in Atlanta, and they used to call it the Atlanta child murders. And it was like, you know, this was on like a kid hearing on the news or something, and it was almost like, what they killed 20 kids, like 20. It was like they your age. You got to be careful. You don't want that Atlanta child murder to get you. And you thinking like, you are such a kid. You thinking like, if a child murder run up on me, I'm gonna grab a bottle. I'm gonna bust his mouth. Then I'm gonna go grab. You know, you a kid. You a kid. You just thinking to yourself like, they ain't gonna snatch me. Like if they come up on me, I'm gonna go get me a thing, and I'm gonna swing. You know, you just telling yourself all this stuff. You know, you literally talk like this to yourself until you grow out of that age bracket because you just can't understand how that was happening to them. And then you look at the videos now on YouTube about what happened in that time frame, and it's like, and then you even hear that they never even solved it, and then they locked some other guy up that wasn't even involved in it, so they never technically solved all those kidnappings at that time. And you was just like, but that's Atlanta. We was living in Chicago, and you talking about the hood. That was definitely the hood, so it wasn't not like that. I mean, unless I didn't hear about it. But let's get back to the story with Shedeur Sanders, man. I'm gonna let old boy. No, I'm done to listening to my bro. He talking what he's saying, but I really don't think that's the real. Let me see what hip hop's saying about the guy Shedeur Sanders. Keep the votes coming. Look up your bro on the super chat. Show some love, like it, and all that stuff. And we appreciate y'all coming over here to Black Outrage. And it's such an outrage because we saw how they treated this kid when he was in the NFL draft. They played past him and dissed him and shit like that, and didn't give him what he's supposed to be. This was his first round pick. You know, come on, when you're good at something, you're good at something. And then when everybody could tell that somebody's being overlooked, and it's hard for them to cover a reason why they did it, and they couldn't clear it up, so it just looked like they looked bad. And so it's almost like the better that kid play, the worse they look in the NFL. So it's almost like keep him off the damn game because he's so good, he gonna make us look bad for making him wait so long. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if you dating some girl and you got the money, you know, you went to school, you got the crib, you already did what you did. Like you don't have to do nothing. You got the job, the money, everything's set up for you. And then you try to get at her, and then she keep talking to you about her ex and how he trying to get some work, and he just trying, and he been working hard trying to do it, and you just be like, why you keep talking to me about this dude? Like, I don't understand. Like, well, I know what you mean. You successful now, so you probably could tell me something to tell him. Like, I ain't telling you nothing to tell him. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, if you want to be with me, be with me. If you want to be with him, be with him. But we're not going to keep discussing this guy and what he got going on. You know, I understand you might still got some feelings for him, but maybe you shouldn't be around me because I can't be some mentor to some ex-boyfriend. It's going to make me feel weird. And it's like I shouldn't have to feel weird to be around you. And that's what Shedeur got to be like. I got to step around y'all and be like, okay, I'm not that good. I got to play like I'm not that good in order for me to be around y'all. Is that what this is? Or is this be the best you can be and be at the highest level you can be at? And the people that don't like it, they just going to feel uncomfortable. Like, how do you rein yourself in? Do you make yourself a little bit smaller so that you could be around and you could fit in with the small people? This stuff that you got to deal with outside of your job and inside friendships, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Because people might not exactly blend in and like you and be wanting you to change something about yourself in order for them to be around you. You know, it's just the way it goes. I guess human, you got to think through it. I had a buddy come to me a long time ago, and he was like, "Hey, Hood, I'm finna put $50,000 towards Hood Films." And I'm like, damn, straight up, we've been knowing each other for years. I'm like, well, what you want to do that for? He was like, no, you've been grinding, you've been making movies, nigga. Come on, I'm gonna support you. I said, 50 bands? He said, what would you do with it? I said, well, I gave him ideas. I said, no, I'm gonna do this, and then we could do that. He said, okay, look, but I got one point and one thing that I would like to change. And I'm thinking like, well, shit, okay, what you talking about? He said, you got to change the name. Wait, what? He said, you got to change the name from Hood Films. I said, well, why would you change the name from Hood Films? That's the brand. Like, I don't understand. He said, because I don't want my name to be associated with nothing like that. I mean, what if I want to be a person that work with kids, or what if I want to be a person that goes to politics, and then I got my name associated with something called Hood, from the hood? I won't want that. So I said, well, why don't you just go take your 50,000 and start your own business and name it whatever the hell you want to name it? And so he was like, looking at me upside my head like I'm supposed to argue, I guess, convince him to try to keep the name with her. I'm just like, just go downtown with your bands and go open a company, call it anything you want to call it, and show me how to do a business with the money. I'll watch. I'm not gonna be mad at you and say, oh man, he took the money that direction. You can show me. But my point I'm making is, I'm not gonna change it to fit inside your pocketbook or your understanding or whatever. You got to go do what you need to do to make yourself happy. And when Shedeur come out as a football player, and these guys want him to stay and pipe down and don't play so hard and low key, it ain't gonna be no long time he gonna be over at Cleveland. Because when you good, especially being young, you gotta jump. You can't. It's almost like walking in the zoo when you see the people in the zoo, the animals in the zoo. And then you could sometimes be happy to be at the zoo. You just be like, oh, hell yeah, I'm at the zoo. I ain't been at the zoo in a minute. And you get there, and then you see the animals, and then after a while, you start looking in their faces as you walking through, and then you be like, wait, these animals look sad as hell, man. Don't none of these animals look happy. Like, I'm starting to feel like these animals are trapped in this bitch. They don't really want to be here. I mean, I'm here, I'm eating shit, and I'm like, yeah, man, my kids, my girl, whatever. But technically, these animals do not like it. Like, some of them are like depressed. Now, may not know it because you can't talk to them, but you can feel it in your body as a human, like, something wrong with these damn animals, man. They shouldn't be in here. Then next thing you know, you like, hey, I'm ready to go. I can't walk through it no more. Let's get out of here. So let's get to the story real quick, y'all. Hit the like button, share the message. I see the votes coming in. We got votes coming in. Let's get to it.
Any less perplexing. No reasonable person thinks Sanders will be fully ready to lead a team and consistently attack a complicated defense 3 weeks from now. He's shown enough talent and growth, however, to make anyone believe he should be on the team and have a chance to develop into a starting quality player. Sanders is talented. His throw out of the end zone to wide receiver Greg Lombardi in the preseason opener, and his floater down the sideline to receiver Luke Floria later are proof. Dylan, what have you seen from Dylan Gabriel to make you think he can be number 2?
Who wrote that?
The Browns Athletic Insider.
The Browns Athletic Insider, right?
Yep.
So you see Shedeur do what he does. 3 quarters of football. I think maybe played well into the 4th quarter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
So in a live game, you saw him play the way he played and still question if he can do the same thing when he has the actual starters at his disposal. I'm confused.
My thing is, he says no reasonable person thinks Sanders will be fully ready to lead a team and consistently attack a complicated NFL defense 3 weeks from now. What about Dylan Gabriel? Has he shown you enough to make them believe that 3 weeks from now he can lead this team against a complicated defense? I digress even further. Has Kenny Pickett ever shown you that he can lead a team against a complicated defense? Because all I know is that what I keep hearing is what you're telling me what he can't do. Like my coach just said in college, hey, well, find something that he can do. See, you keep telling me what Shedeur can't do. Well, your job as a coach is to put players in position and find something that they can do.
Wait a minute. But
See, that's proof right there, as I was saying. He probably won't be in that city that long because, again, you got a bunch of white guys, and if they're not really vibing with you because of how the image is, then it's just going to be kind of stupid. There's no way he can get past that. You know what I'm saying? It said, it said, you still had, what does Tyrell say something right here again? He said, 11 year old, you still can say, Tyrell, you still had issues, but there was old dudes on the streets who had kids' backs. Yeah, that's true. Tyrell, I had a lot of dudes caught up in the street life who had my back. And I ain't reading the hello Ola. He's going crazy out here. I'm gonna let him handle that, what he got going on. That brother got he got some stuff going on. I'm gonna send out some membership gifts to some people. This gonna be random. I hope the guys get it, that show love. And check this out right now. We sending out some member gifts free for YouTube membership on Hood Films channel, and it's 5 of them going out right now. I hope y'all get it, and we appreciate y'all. The ones who did get it, our membership sent 5 membership. We got Third Eye Gaming got one, Do Work got one, Wow Glow got one. So that's dope right there. We did a few, and we're gonna get back to the message, but I appreciate the people who were able to get one of our free membership giveaway. We do that maybe a couple of hours. We do one. And I'm going to let them speak a little bit more right here on this message. The votes are still coming in. Hit the super chat, show love. Black Outrage, number 38. Let's go.
But where's the can't coming from when we just saw him do it? I know it's a small sample size. It's 3/4 of football. But everything you said he can't do, he just did. Matter of fact, he just did what we already saw him do at Jackson State. He just did what we saw him do at Colorado. We just did, even though it's a small sample size. Uncle, I played the game for a very long time.
Yep.
I played the game for a very long time. I'm a receiver. I know what it's supposed to look like. I know what it looks like when there's a quarterback that's playing in a game and he's confident. He's polished. His pocket presence, his mannerisms. I know what it should look like. We've seen Kenny Pickett with the Steelers. If he was the answer for Cleveland, he would have been the answer in Pittsburgh. No,
what's the question?
Yeah, we got to let that commercial run through real quick. Nothing you can do about commercials. Matter of fact, shut up.
This is gonna be my biggest book ever.
They won't shut up. Shut up. Got to shut the commercials up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take one really quick too for 1 minute. Let's do this as a 3-minute one. I'll be right back after this commercial break. 1 minute, y'all. All right, y'all, we back at it again, man. We rocking again with it. Make sure my sound is working. It'll be back in a second. So I hope, glad y'all rocking with us. We got a lot of votes that came in, and it's a big little change up on the voting too. It looked like out of all these votes that we got, 92% of the people is still saying it's a yes to Shedeur. So they got, should Shedeur Sanders stay the quarterback, and 92% saying yeah. Only 8% saying no. We had 100% rocking for a long time, so it's a lot of votes came in. So keep voting, keep voting. Let's see what else they got going on the votes for Shedeur Sanders. Should he stay in as the quarterback, or are they going to send him on his way? And that's a big question, you know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of people talking about it. I'm gonna let this dude talk a little. Well, no, his video kind of long. I wouldn't be able to find exactly what section he is speaking on it. But I know some rappers was talking about what Shedeur Sanders had did this past week. He was playing, and he did a very good job. He got some touchdowns. He did a good job in it, and you know, people was happy for him. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, some people still mad at it because they don't want him to be the lead quarterback. You know, it's just, unfortunately, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to this guy right here. You probably seen this guy talk about him. I don't know his name, McAfee, I think that's what they call this guy. Some dude. But, you know, I'll let him speak on it real quick. Let me know in the comment section, too. I want to know what y'all think about this guy, about Shedeur real quick. And I'm going to try to get some memberships away again in a minute. But look, also, we got our shirts. Our shirts are available. Wait, shut up. Our shirts are available right now. You can grab one of these, put the shop button on, hit the like button, share the message, and I want to make sure you see it. It's good stuff. It's very great quality. You will love it. It's gonna last. It's a dope shirt for the season coming in. It's about to be cool outside. So, and we're gonna rock this guy. Let him talk what he got to say real quick. You can tell me what y'all think too. I want to know what y'all think about this dude saying. Let's get to it. Hit the like button, share the message. Let's get to it.
One of the best players in the league. He's on the all-brush team. Will be forever. Are the Cleveland Browns real deal, or is this just a preseason game, D-Bus? And the fact that Shedeur was damn near perfect, had 2 touchdowns, had dance, had Nike ad immediately afterwards, had the world talking. It doesn't matter because it's preseason, or is this a sign of things to come, D-Bus?
I mean, definitely had the world talking. NFL probably tweeted him out in every clip about 30, 40 times when he was playing. So yeah, everybody's watching. There's been a lot of conversation about him since he dropped in the draft. And yeah, the question always, regardless of which side of the argument you're on, you're going to stay on that side. Oh, he played great. It's just a preseason. Oh, he stunk. Oh, I told you he was going to stink. So, but he showed up. All the pressure was on him. All the lights was on him. But let's get to the tape. Preseason games are pretty much glorified practices, but just like Little with that long field goal, when you have live reps that you really never have with quarterbacks, pressure on them, that's why it counts. So look, rolling out right here to his left. Step up. This is a play you see week in and week out in NFL. Reset his feet. The right-handed quarterback is tough. Flip your hips, and then you make an accurate throw over the low flat defender, accurately to that tight end who wins the leverage late against the cornerback. Great throw, great ball placement. That's what you want to see out of your rookie quarterback. He was a 5th-round pick. We all know he shouldn't have been, but he's showing up and taking advantage of his opportunity. A lot of people talked about, hey, he's getting in there, he's getting set up for failure. Nah, in the NFL, regardless of where you drafted.
What was all that talk?
I mean,
Boy didn't have any reps in the first team, and they were throwing him out there. So.
Yeah, the first team wasn't going to be on the field.
Yeah, well, that's not how.
So if you're not getting reps with the first team, the first team's not going to be on the field. That shouldn't affect what's happening. But like, I do appreciate that everybody was kind of going to bat for him before the game was even played. Like, kind of, because that is the reality of the situation. Like, there's some quarterbacks that are going to look like shit because they don't have an offensive line block for him, or they don't have any wide receivers that know the goddamn routes. So you can definitely set a precedent. I didn't like that they were just like, oh, he's getting screwed, basically, for starting in this game.
So that was basically like, it basically, a lot of what they're basically saying is that even though he did start in the game, he got a lot of hate for doing it. And he's good. You know, he should have been getting love, but they gave him a lot of hate for being a starter. And it's like, you know, he wasn't even really starting like that because it was only a preseason game. And secondarily, as a preseason game, he wasn't even playing with the team or the area of the team that he had been practicing with. And so that's another reason why people was looking at it crazy, like why everybody talking so round or foul about him, writing all these bogus articles, putting all this foulness out there about the guy when technically he worked his ass off against a squad that's not necessarily his squad. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a grind. You know what I'm saying? And he had to stay on his grind in order for this to continue to work for him. But I think that if they don't show him love, if they don't give him his props and give him his respect, he's not going to be on that team long. He's going to end up leaving that squad and going somewhere else and being somewhere where they can understand him. Because at the end of the day, when you're good, you're good, and it's that simple. When you're good, you're good, and if you're good at something and people don't respect it, then how the hell are you going to be there doing what you do? We all know the guy good. We all know that the NFL played him and let him get in there at later instead of getting in there early as a teammate. But we know he's good, so that's the thing about it, and we want to see him succeed. That's why everybody watching. Come on, the 5th-round pick, and he's the guy that everybody buying his jersey. He's the 5th-round pick, and he's the guy who everybody trying to see him play. When the Cleveland Browns play, everybody tuning in. You got everybody routing and screaming and going crazy about his plays. It was like the whole internet went crazy when he did what he did. So it was just dope. It was super crazy. And then in super chat, in the voting, we had a 93% out of 8, and so far we got 40 votes came in. That's a lot. 40 votes came in just to vote on seeing this kid if he's going to continue to be actually the quarterback, which he should. But are they going to let him do it? That's they might end up being one of those kind of teams that don't mind losing if they don't do what they do. They're okay with losing. Like, oh man, we didn't put him up there, but it's okay. Like, it's okay. What y'all mean? So I'm try to see if you guys can support us a little bit more. We got support we need from our great friends out there, which is you. And we also have our shirt, which is Hood Films. It's popping. We got our new gear in. This makes me feel so happy because it's available to y'all right now. We got different colors, different sizes, all that stuff. And by me promoting it like this is what they allow us to do so we can let y'all know. And it's printed by a company called Printful, and they dope. They hook it up for you. They deal with the addresses, they deal with the shipments, they deal with everything, actually putting the shit together as well. They set everything up, and they integrate it into YouTube so that when you make an order, it goes straight to them and everything is set up. But then I'll see you when you pop back and you pop your shirt on, and then we'll just have a Hood Film shirt wear out. You know what I mean? We pop up somewhere in the city and we're gonna know each other wherever we at, or this will be your backstage pass when we get ready to do our shows across the country. You could just be like, I already got one because I got one of the shirts. I'm gonna try to see what else going on my bro again. Let Unc and Ocho talk a little bit more because they going deep into it. They was real sensitive about the message, and I appreciate y'all coming this far into the video. Y'all been rocking with us. We're about 54 minutes in. All right, so let them talk a little bit more about this. Let's flip the camera and let them talk they stuff. Go. What my sound at?
I don't know what more. I don't know what more. Listen, when you fill out your resume, right? When you fill out your resume, and you're going for that job interview, you want to put your best foot forward.
Yes.
You want to leave a lasting impression.
Correct.
Well, the lasting impression is what we saw Friday night from the person they claim is the fourth string quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do? We build from that on Saturday.
Well, you build from that. No, you build from that starting in practice by giving him more reps. More quality reps. You don't leave him in the position that he was in where he's getting a handful of reps with the 3s and 4s. You give him some opportunities with the 1s, with the 2s. I'm not saying he has to take 5, 6 reps with the 1s, but I'm saying you sprinkle, maybe you give him 1 or 2 reps. Maybe you give him 3 or 4 reps with the 2s. I do agree with this. Until we see Sanders get practice reps with the number 1 offense, we can't believe the Browns view him as having much of a shot to be number 2 when the season begins. True, I do agree with that statement. You're not going from 4 to 2. If you 4 training camp, then all of a sudden the season starts, you're number 2.
Yeah.
They're going to need to see you with the 1s and 2s to feel comfortable because they got to make a decision. And when you make that decision, you release somebody, ain't no guarantee that you're going to be able to bring them back and put them on your practice squad. Somebody might sign them and put them on the active roster. So that's the case, Ocho. Do I stay on your practice squad for, say, 25, 30,000, or do I go somewhere and get an opportunity to get a real roster spot and make almost $1 million a year? So that's the question that you have. That's a decision that you make when you release these guys. Because I'm sure there are some guys, I would love to have him to have another year learning our system. And when we come back next year, having the OTAs, the training camp,
See, so that's a really good point that he's making about the boys just sitting on the sideline waiting for them to give him a chance, and then somebody else that got the money and interested in him because they see what he could do. But they got to give him a chance on the squad he's actually on, and that means he got to play with the guys who are actually the number one guys, the first rounds. I mean, not the first round, but the first squad, the lead team. And if he don't get a chance to practice with them, then how he gonna play with them in the real game? So it's a lot of all of that that's happening, and there's no really knowing what exactly is going to actually become of it. Like, is he going to get his chance? He should, because he's young enough to get his chance. But after seeing him play, I mean, he's only been one game, and a lot of times in football, what happens, especially sports like that, you can hurt yourself or get hurt, and then you go down funny, and then everything is over with. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they try to get as much money as they can in a short time frame, like the guy was saying, not for long. NFL stand for not for long, because you're not going to be able to play at 30 something, 35 when they crashing into your body like that. You know what I'm saying? And the quarterback take 90% of the hits because everybody running after him every single play. So it's like, the possibility you might not be able to continue to play as long as you want to, just how your body hold up. But he young, and that's what they do. They make sure they get him very young, and they try to play him at that point so that they can have a chance to get as much out of them as they can. But if you don't get a guy a chance to play, I wouldn't sit still. It's like, nah, man, you got a short time on to be playing the NFL, and you don't want to be having no time waiting for somebody to give you a chance when they already telling you up front they're not going to give you a chance. They telling you, wait, we got to play this guy. We giving this guy more money. We already promised this dude. It's like, hold on, man. Why y'all? But I mean, it's still they did draft him, because if he didn't get drafted, none of this conversation would even be happening. So you can at least get him that respect. You know what I'm saying? They at least drafted him, because without the draft, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he could at least go down in history as being an NFL football player. And there's people in the game like that. They didn't get a chance a whole lot of time to play, but they still got that credential in their name for the rest of their life. Like, I played the NFL, so that's me for life. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody take that from me. And a lot of us will never be able to do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially take them hits. You know what I'm saying? That they got to go through. You know what I'm saying? So let me know again in the comment section what y'all think about what's up with Shedeur Sanders. Should he go ahead and stay out the Cleveland Browns huddles and just wait until they give him his chance, or should he go in there and just be like, no, man, y'all got to put me up front. Don't make me wait. Don't make me sit on the sideline. I ain't got time for that. Because if somebody else come and give me a chance, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? And I know they can do that. So I'm sure they can do that, especially right now with the season early on. But maybe they won't do nothing like that, because when you're on your squad, you locked in, and it's like this where you at least got to be until whatever time that they choose for you to change. So that's why all I wanted to hit y'all with this, man, is talk about this. I'm gonna try to see what Cam Newton, because he one of them people who actually had played in the NFL, and he know a lot about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to let him give a little take on it. And y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about Cam Newton. Hit the like button, share the message. Black Outrage. Let's get with it. All right.
And in the famous words of Bill Belichick, don't be a distraction.
No.
Some things that you can control, some things that you can't control. Shedeur Sanders and his stardom and what comes with the aura of Shedeur, he can't control that.
No.
He can't control that. A lot of people are looking at him in a way where it's like, well, what is Shedeur going to do? Oh, he threw an interception today. Man, I done heard more about Shedeur than I heard about the starting quarterback.
But speaking of that, Shedeur is currently number 4 on the depth chart. He's 4th on the depth chart, the unofficial depth chart that they released. Joe Flacco is number 1, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, then there is Shedeur Sanders. And they just brought in Tyler Huntley to take some reps throughout this week due to injuries with Pickett, Gabriel, and Sanders. So, he got to get back healthy. I know it wasn't a big injury or anything like that. I think it was some soreness. But, yeah, like, even with that 4th string, you might not be able to relate, but just understanding that you have people behind you in the league. Do you feel like he's even getting a fair shake in Cleveland? Because, even with him saying, I don't want my dad to see me where I am now, they talked about, even in the media, that he doesn't get that many reps at quarterback. So, and then also the owner came out and said that he wasn't his guy. But do you feel like Shedeur's getting a fair shake in Cleveland? And then what does he need to do? Like, does this really help him become a starter?
Man, he was a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
This is what you have to understand. The facts are what the facts are.
Yeah.
He was a 5th-round pick. Stardom aside, he's a 5th-round pick. What you have to do is put your head down and grind. And the thing that a lot of people don't give enough credit for quarterbacks is the game is not just solely about completing the pass. Mm-hmm. The game is more focused on the neck up. Hey, what's my side adjust? Hey, who am I hot off of? Hey, what's my signal right here? Hey, what coverage are they in? Hey, why am I even looking to the field when that's not even my read dictated off the coverage? Those are the things that if I'm Shedeur, I'm worried about. I ain't worried about what the popular pick in the media is. Oh man, I threw this, I threw that. Because what we don't know from the media standpoint is the receiver may have ran the wrong route. But that don't mean him throwing a pass where he was supposed to be. It's so much that you have to know that you don't know from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So being in a comfortable position, he can't get comfortable. Because we're going to see him. He's going to have a lot of reps to be had, hopefully, throughout this preseason process. And this is the thing, though. Being a 5th-round pick, you may make the team, you may not make the team. You may make practice squad, you may not make practice squad.
Man, that's crazy. So you got this dude who they gave him a raw deal when they actually chose him to be in the industry. You know, he didn't get what he was supposed to get, like the right timing, so with the right numbers. So now they got him in there, and they won't even. They basically dissing him. They basically not allowing him to get to his point. So that means he got to basically, like Cam Newton said, he got to work his way up. He got to work his way up. But it's like, I mean, that probably is not going to be so hard for you if you good. Like if you really good and they say, hey man, we ain't finna give you nothing. You got to work from here. And it's like, all right, well, shit, that ain't nothing to me. I could grind this out. I'm the best. So whoever you put me in front of, wherever area you got me, you gonna see me shine because I'm the best. Now you can play with me and be like, y'all don't wanna. You want me to, I guess, fight my way up to it, but if that's what you got to do, but okay, fine. And then he go out there and hit them darts and throw the ball correctly, and they got to give him his props. But then, you know, what if you work your butt off and you put every effort that you got into it, and then they still play with you and be like, nah, man, we still ain't. That's ain't. And now you looking at it like, what y'all mean, man? Come on, who I completed everything I did. You know, it's really a delicate balance, but you got to do what you got to do. It's a job. At the end of the day, the NFL is a 9 to 5. It's not probably 9 to 5 in hours, but it's a job. So that means you work it and then you off work. You work it and you off work. You don't own the NFL. It's not yours. You don't take it home. You don't run everybody's bank accounts. But it's a job. So you just come in there and do your job. The gig they told you to do today, whatever your position is, then you go home and you forget about it to the next day, just like everybody else in life. You don't carry it home. You don't be at the house fighting the air like, man, it's my turn. They still won't let me when Flacco play. They want me to play because that's going to ruin it. You know what I mean? Just go and just let it play out. Cam Newton, legend, because he actually won. He actually, you know, he didn't get the whole ring thing, but he still won enough to actually have a legendary history in the game. So that's why I let him talk. Let him talk a little bit more. Let him talk a little bit more.
But people want to say, oh, they just humbling him. Like, no, bro, he's no different than any other 5th-round pick in the NFL. It's a grind.
Thanks.
It's a grind. Everybody who gets selected, even 1st-round picks, have a threshold of patience. The later that you get picked, the more of that threshold that people aren't willing to keep giving you. Example. You go in and you take a rep. Man, we just covered this and then, man, get out. Don't worry about it. Hey, man, get him.
That's a rep.
That's the rep right there.
Yeah.
We done said that. Where you supposed to go versus cover 2? I done gave you the movement keys right there. You got a shade, you got a 3 tech, and then you got a 5, and then you got a 9. That's under defense. Anytime that they're in under defense, that's a high blitz or a high pressure defense. You got to know these type of things. Hey, they're over defense. A 3 tech and a 9, or a 3 tech and a 5. Hey, that means this corner press right here, 3 tech and a 5 with a corner cap over a safety. That's the hard corner pressure right here. That's a tendency. Why aren't you in your book, bro? Those are things that people and coaches want to see. It's not about who your daddy is. It's not about who you when you got drafted. Because everybody on the even scale now. So when you know what you're supposed to do, and he's playing a position that requires him to have a lot of mental stamina.
Man, he could do it, man. I understand where he coming from. That obviously we don't know the words and all the technical stuff that Shedeur got to know. But come on, I believe Shedeur could do it. Cause look, he just played in college and he got them all the way to where they need to go. So you telling me that just taking to the next level, the words is different. It's like night and day. It's like to me, it's like you was in the ROTC, and then you went to the Army. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like you could figure this out. It's whatever it is, the technical jargon. And imagine this: your father used to play, so it's easy for him to tell you, "Hey, Dad, what do the so." And then he gonna come through this way, but I bet. He just you ain't even practicing with your friends or your lady who wouldn't know. Hey, baby, read number three. Read number three. And the coverage in 3-man and 4-man. You visualizing what she's saying. You actually talking to your father, who actually played in the game. You at the crib with him. Y'all watching games together. Remember when you asked me what's the 4-man coverage? Look at this. This is it right here. See? And then he come around like that. Y'all gonna be doing this one. I promise you. I know y'all gonna be. We played against y'all and they did this. This your daddy. It's not gonna be hard for him to figure out what the steps and the level that he needs to rise to in order to be the number one quarterback at that squad. So to think that he can't do it, but I understand what Cam Newton's saying, that all of it goes together. That it's not just the physical running. It's not just that you cool and everybody like you. You also got to know every single element of the conversation as a quarterback on the field, and then you got to be able to articulate that to each person, the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, your players, your whoever. You got to be able to talk this shit to them, and that's okay. If you love what you love, that's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be like, that's so basic. Like, that's all I got to do is just talk in the conversation of what it is. Like, that's nothing. That's like, come on, man. It's easy to do that. You know what I'm saying? We do that anyway about our friends. We talk to our friends in a conversation that we have with our friends and the vernacular, and then we talk to our parents and the vernacular that you talk to your parents, and it's never the same. You don't go, even if you said some things like you would say to your friends, your mother would be like, hey, don't talk to me like I'm one of your friends. And then you be like, oh, okay, yep, all right, my fault. And so you could get it kind of intertwined, but you know how to talk to both people. It's not even like somebody got to come and tell you, like, hey, did you speak to your mother like this today? You like, oh, damn, I forgot. Already. You already know. You know what I'm saying? You talk to your friends, that's your crew. So you know how to talk to them. You know the conversation, you know everything that everybody's talking about. So when it comes to the NFL thing and you got to play and it's the time to get on a game, you already was the quarterback in college. What's the difference playing it at the high level? But I don't think that they understand how good old boy is and what he's going to be able to do. Plus, he's young. I think that it's time for him to show the world. And 5th round pick is just make everybody look stupid. That's all you basically doing. You making everybody look dumb. Like, that's what y'all thought? Well, good, that's what you thought. Because now everybody going to look dumb. And I'm going crazy. RH, what's up? I ain't see you down there, bro. He says this dude again. Yo, but I appreciate y'all rocking. But, man, y'all rocked out with me today. I appreciate it. Y'all, we talked about the shirt. It's out now. You can see it again. It's available. Hood Film. This is one of my favorite things to do is talk about my products that I create and all that stuff. I don't want to take the green screen off just now, but you can see it pretty much. It's good, looking good. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all show love. Everybody show love. We had some conversations. We gave away some membership gifts from Hood Films. So they'll be getting the footage and the videos ahead of time. If you join the membership, that's what we do. We drop everything on there first, and then we send it to you. Patreon as well. We drop everything on there first, and then we send it to you. You can find all that stuff in the description. And we just go like that, and we keep it going. We dropping good stuff today. I'm going to try to do another podcast later on today. But if I don't get to it, then I'll definitely be on here tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. Don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but you guys can leave me a comment about what you want to hear about, and we're going to do a deep dive on it. We're going to bring the footage from other commentators and everything, and we'll talk about it into depth. I'm talking about in depth. We go into depth on this show. We're not just going to talk about it and be like, yeah, this is what happened. Bling. No, we're going to go into depth about it. Because sometimes I be wanting to see that. I see people talk about something, and then it's like 11-minute video, and it's like, okay, and maybe I might forget about it. But sometimes if it's like something I can sit back and go into depth about, then I could have more insight about it, because it's not just my opinion. We're going with a lot more opinions, and we add it to the table like a big old stew of knowledge. That's what we're doing around here. So hit the like button, share the message again. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And Daylock said he's good in college. He still has to prove. The best ever, Brady, was picked lower in the draft. Yeah, I heard about that. Excuse me. And then he said, these things happen. No conspiracy going on. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, excuse me, y'all. The conspiracy would be he would have to show himself. They did it at least to set him up in a position where he had to show himself. I mean, the people probably looking at it like he came from a lap of luxury. He didn't really have it too hard as far as a kid growing up. No gangs, no real tough life. You know, he living in a mansion with 3-4 bedrooms and with 9 bathrooms his whole life as a child. So what real tough life did he really experience? So if nothing else, we can be in control of making you have to wait a little longer to get to the job. And that's not nothing to trip over. Anybody who ever had a job, especially a bougie job, they be like, oh, you got to go interview 3 times. And then after you do the interviews, now sometimes they be like, you got to do a psychological test. And then after doing that, now you got to probably meet the CEO, or maybe they want you to travel. And it's like a lot. It's not like, hey, it's me. Yo, it was good. Okay, I'll see y'all at the job tomorrow. It's like, no, you got to take that shit off and you got to wear this. You got to look like that. You got to cut your hair. It's going to be parameters just to keep a little bullshit job. I ain't even talking about the NFL where they want you to be taking news conferences. You can't be drunk. You do drugs. It's rules. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So this kid might not have had a tough life, but he could fulfill them standards. You know, he ain't on drugs. He ain't got 3 baby mamas. He ain't been out here with a DUI, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I figure like this was their way of saying, we're going to make it a little tough for you. We're going to show you grit. And how hard is that's nothing. It's probably worse to get through cosmetology school than it was for him to get through the draft. You know what I'm saying? Come on. But he made it. And now you get your little check coming in. You ain't got to ask dad for no money no more. You ain't got to worry about if you're going to get a job or buy crypto. You could just get a check coming in, playing football, even if it is a 2nd string, 4th string. Who cares? And if they want to pull you up to the big top, then it happens. If they don't, you still get a check coming in. You 27, 29, 25. You good. You just chill and live in your mansion. It ain't like you got to take your whole check and pay rent. You probably got a crib because your family like, it's time for you to get your own apartment. Look, we got you one right here. You like, oh, okay, bad. It ain't like you sitting around studying, looking for a home. Like he's living in a lap of luxury mindset. So where I might make all of us be wondering, man, they racist, or they doing this, or they doing that. He ain't had no bad weekend in a long time. And this ain't nothing really bad, because again, he got the job. You know, you get a job sometimes, you was going after it, and then they interviewed for you, and you was there, and you was like, bet, they hired me. And then your first day you get there, and they be like, hey, I know we hired you to be, but look, some stuff happened, and some guys left, so we want to see if we can get you to put over here in this position. You thinking like, what? That ain't what the hell y'all interviewed me for this. I know, but this would just be a team player for us just for now. You're still going to get your same pay. And you and this bitch like, that ain't what the fuck they said. But now you got to go back home and everybody like, how was it? How was your first day? And you got to either lie about it. It was dope. And then I was doing it. Oh, I know you so happy to be. And you in your mind, you like, these motherfuckers had me in the back some damn where. Man, I don't know if I'm going to like this, man. This going to have to get back the way I thought it was going to be, because I'm not expecting they put me in the back of this. What the fuck was that? Now, if some shit happened like that to me, I quit the job. Bye-bye. Because mentally, I'm not going to be able to handle it. I'm going to be like, I'm just not going to be able to handle that. So I'm going to be telling them, no, y'all keep this job. They're going to be like, what happened? The lady, you can see she's having a heart attack. And I'll be like, hey, man, y'all didn't tell me that. Now, I ain't trying to play no games with y'all. We have to put some pep on that lady and get her right. But I'm going to do what y'all told me to do the day I put, that's why I'm not a team player like that. But everybody ain't me, and everybody ain't you. So that was a little comedy for y'all before we get out of here, man. At the end of the show, which we are at this point, you're going to see at the top, I'll show you the podcast playlist. So you can click it, and then you'll be able to watch all of the episodes up to now, which we're at about 39. We running them up. And then you'll be able to see at the bottom, it'll be like at the bottom of the video, you'll be able to see where you can subscribe and do things like that. You can shop on the replays. We're going to try to chop it up and put it out there as far as, what those things called? Shorts, YouTube Shorts. And then you'll be able to see those things too. So I appreciate y'all rocking with us again. Thank you for watching the show all the way this far. Thank you for voting. 48 votes. Last time I said something about the votes, only 40 votes came in, but now it's 48 votes. But the numbers didn't change. The numbers are locked in. Should Shedeur Sanders stay the quarterback? And 92% of the people say yes. So that's really a lot. I'm going to make sure I get this directly to the coach and be like, this is what they said on my channel, and I don't think you want to mess with Black Outrage. And he going to make sure that Shedeur get in that game, because that's all you had to do is come over here and vote and do what you did. So I appreciate y'all. Have a great day, a super afternoon, and I'll holler at y'all. Peace.